Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is here, everyone. Welcome back for a late night edition of SPTV, where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. Oh, it's time to go to war, baby. You know who done messed up? Zero Dark Tony, known by his parents as Anthony D'Amato Jr. Guys, I guess what we're dealing with tonight is a little bit of Schadenfreude. Is that what they call it? Schadenfreude? Schadenfreude. When one of Scientology's most annoying agents finally gets what's coming to him, it does bring joy to my heart. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays. An angel got its wings because Zero Dark Tony has gotten a warrant out for his arrest. Before I show you the hard evidence, I want to throw back to a video that I did 11 months ago, almost exactly 11 months ago to the day. It was actually a video that I did with Marilyn Honig, and we must have gotten into the Q&A section here, and I'm answering a question from Brett Grace about whether I think Scientology has successfully bought off anybody in the SPTV community. Let's see what I had to say about it way back when. Get the volume up. Here we go. Okay, Brett Grace, we are a year into the SPTV phenomenon, and I'm curious if you guys think Scientology has bought off any SPTV creators. Don't have to name names, but I'm just curious how they're responding to all of this. I personally don't think Scientology's bought anyone off, except I do think that Tony D'Amato, Zero Dark Tony, I do think he actually works for Scientology, whether he knows it or not. If you guys look at the amount of views that Tony D'Amato, aka Zero Dark Tony, if you look at the amount of views his channel gets, take it from someone who understands YouTube analytics and YouTube revenue. Tony D'Amato makes approximately $16 a month from YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe it's $200 a month from YouTube. This guy's been doing videos every single day. I cracked myself up at the time, and now I cracked myself up again at cracking myself up for the last 4 or 5 months, attacking every single SPTV creator. And I know where Tony D'Amato lives. There's a few current addresses, and I even tried to help serve him I even tried to help Vanessa serve him the last time I was in Los Angeles, because, well, the guy's a monster. The guy's a freak. But I also know how hard it is to grow a YouTube channel. And I know that sometimes drama and attacks can increase subscribers and increase views. And if that's what was happening over on the Zero Dark Tony channel, then I would explain it away. He's just trying to make money. But Tony doesn't make money, and his channel hasn't grown. And now he has a horrible reputation. Who wants to be known as the guy who attacks all former Scientologists? So I do believe that Tony D'Amato, aka Zero Dark Tony, I do believe he's working for Scientology. Somehow someone's paying him, because also he lives in Hollywood. It's not cheap to live there. But the guy does YouTube all the time, and the guy makes no money doing it. So who's paying his bills? What's the incentive for him to keep doing content like this? Because it's not growing his subscribers. It's not growing his view count. It's been a disaster for him. It has been a disaster for him. That is an understatement of the century. Interesting point. Interesting point I want to make on something that I said in that video about, if his channel was showing that constantly criticizing and hating on and dragging and insulting and trying to humiliate all these people on YouTube who are former Scientologists or allies to former Scientologists who are working to expose Scientology on YouTube, if his channel showed that injecting drama into that world actually succeeded in growing a channel, growing subscribers, getting views, I would go, okay, look no further. Like, the most obvious solution is likely to be the right solution. He's just doing it for money. He's doing it for a little bit of clout. But the funny thing about this community is that the viewers of anti-Scientology content on YouTube do not like interpersonal drama. I mean, like I said on my video, as someone who understands YouTube analytics, and I know how much money Tony D'Amato is not making, I also understand YouTube analytics and can say with certainty, drama does not sell in this community. It can get you good views on a video, but that doesn't, getting good views on a video, who gives a shit? Yeah, like what happens tomorrow? People do not subscribe to channels that engage in a lot of interpersonal criticism and drama. It just actually doesn't sell in this community, because this community is about exposing a multi-billion-dollar international family destroying human trafficking cult. The people who are here to support that effort aren't also here to hear about how much you hate Joe. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, Tony's channel's been a total failure, and his strategy doesn't translate into YouTube success. And so it does bring up the question, how the hell's Tony D'Amato making any money? Why does he keep doing something that is so unpopular? He didn't do it before. It's not like he's been doing it forever. He started at a particular date and then he never stopped. I mean, unless the guy just lives on welfare or something, this guy doesn't make any money. Okay. So, So that was just what I had to say about Tony D'Amato 11 months ago. Now tonight, William from the Scientology Audit YouTube channel, he posted this on his community tab. Warrant for Zero Dark Tony's arrest. He's facing a couple decades in jail for 26 charges, counts including stalking, willful cruelty to a child, and violating the restraining order. Now, the images that he posted just with the YouTube interface are not terribly easy to see. So he texted me these same things, and I'm just going to show you what we've got here. Anthony Robert D'Amato, it's also junior, but guys, 26 counts have been logged against him. Let me see if I can actually try to do this in a better format. Does this work? Let's give this a shot. Keep my face off of the overlay for a moment. The charges start from the bottom up. I'm doing this in reverse sequence. So if I share this tab, okay. So this is all of December 17th. Today's December 20th. This is all being logged as of December 17th. This is charge 1 through 12. You can see here. These all relate to stalking and harassment of a minor. Okay. This is Solomon, one of the Scientology protesters out in LA, Solomon. For some reason, Tony decided to set his sights on Solomon, and day after day after day after day, not only did some of the most disgusting, I won't even try to put into words other than horrifically disgusting videos day after day after day about this this minor boy, but did the same thing to his parents, would show up where he was in the real world. Restraining orders were issued. He violated them time after time after time again. So these are all charges for a crime against a child, stalking and harassment. Look, we've got stalking, disobeying a domestic relations court order, willful cruelty to a child. And it just goes on and on and on, a repeat of the same offenses on different dates over many, many months. Let's see if we've got any different, willfully cruel to a child, basically disobeying a court order. Okay. Let's see, anything, again, disobeying a court order. December 19th, yesterday, warrant bail set. He has, I know this. He has not yet been arrested. Hey, Tony, I know you're watching, broski. You better make a run for it, homie. I hope you do, because then they can slap some extra charges on you. The detective already knows where you live, obviously. So whether you're sleeping in your bed at home tonight, or whether you're sleeping next to the dumpster behind the 7-Eleven to try to avoid the police, you can't get away, son. You can't get away. I'm hoping for a slow speed police chase on the 101 in a white Ford Bronco with Tony D'Amato in the front seat and police helicopters following him. I want it to be exciting. I want it to be the SPTV event of the year. I can only hope, but no, I'm sure it's going to be pathetic and unwatchable like everything else Zero Dark Tony does. But honestly, I don't want to also assume that everyone even knows what I'm talking about. So like, you know, Zero Dark Tony is a guy who spent about 5 minutes in Scientology. If his story is to believed, and I do happen to believe his story, was brought into Scientology by Jenna Elfman and Bodhi Elfman, which I actually believe his story. And maybe his whole story is BS, but I believe it. And so for a hot minute, 20, 30 years ago, he was doing some low-level Scientology courses at the Celebrity Center. Never really did anything further than very basic introductory courses. And all of a sudden, I forget how long ago, was it a year and a half ago? Was it 2 years ago? All of a sudden, he popped up on Twitter, making a little bit of noise in the former Scientology world. And so I brought him on to one of my Friday night panels. It's either Friday night or Monday night or something. I don't know, Saturday night, where I would, me and 3 other people, and we would just chew the fat and shoot the shit about Scientology stuff and learn a little bit about each other. And that was the only video that I ever did with Tony. So it was probably a couple hours one night a couple years ago. And ever since then, he sort of percolated for a few weeks, getting friendly with some people. And then all of a sudden, just I don't know, maybe he's got multiple personality disorder. I don't know. All of a sudden he just flipped like a switch and just started full on every single day, multi-hour attacks against every single person in the SPTV universe. Every single person on YouTube who does Scientology content. And of course, that by Scientology content, anti-Scientology content, because there's actually nobody on YouTube that does Scientology content, pro-Scientology content. And you figured maybe he'd just get bored of it after a while. And it's it's so weird that he's just never, ever, ever stopped. Now, I actually stopped watching any of his stuff a long time ago because it just got so boring. For a while, it was he was the most exciting thing going on. It was such a scandal. He was threatening to do all sorts of this stuff, and he just never, at the end of the day, had anything good. It just got boring, and then it just became clear he was actually lying about pretty much everything anyway. And then every now and then he would stumble onto something real, and then he would make hay out of that for a few weeks, and then you'd think he would go away, and then you'd be like, no, he's just here forever. So I call Tony D'Amato a Scientology agent. And I would never be able to prove that in a court of law. So I'll say, allegedly he's a Scientology agent. But it's a weird thing in this former Scientology space, right? It's a weird thing, the idea of knowing that Scientology is without a doubt, doing anything and everything they can figure out how to do in order to just somehow keep us from continuing to do on YouTube the stuff that we do. Like they literally have no other higher priority in the Galactic Confederacy right now that Scientology doesn't, than figuring out how to stop what's happening on YouTube. And you go, okay, how would they do that? And, I think we all overestimate our own ability to figure out who it is that is actually doing Scientology's bidding or being actually working for Scientology. Because the truth is, the best person would be the person you would never suspect. And that has the potential. No, because that is simply a fact. The best person would be the person you actually would never suspect. The fact that that is true has the potential to put people in this space into a certain state of paranoia where you can't trust anyone. And I refuse to go to that space. I refuse to go to that headspace. And I never have fallen into that trap. But so there's only 2 possibilities, right? The people who are doing the most destruction in the community are the people most likely to be working for Scientology. That's one possibility. And you go, but that doesn't make sense, right? Because that's too obvious. You'd be like, the real person working for Scientology would probably be the person you never suspect. And you go, yeah, but then that means do we let the people who are doing the obvious destruction off the hook? So I'm just kind of putting all this out there into the universe as to explain why I call Zero Dark Tony, Tony D'Amato, a Scientology agent. There is no other explanation I can come up with for why Tony does what he does, other than the fact that he's somehow working for Scientology. Now you might go, Aaron, Scientology would never willingly do business with someone as crazy and stupid and careless and reckless as Zero Dark Tony. And I would say, oh, yes, they would. Okay. Scientology's not hiring the best and the brightest. Some, I'm sure, are good people. Okay. But most of them are bottom of the barrel. Okay. And look no further than a private investigator that Scientology hired. This is all documented in, court records, testimony and stuff. Scientology hired a PI to follow people, hack people's emails in the in anti-Scientology space. This PI was such a scumbag. What he ended up going to prison for wasn't the stuff he did for Scientology. It was for raping a woman he had been hired to investigate and recording it. These are the kind of people Scientology is already known to work with. So if you think, oh my God, Scientology would never take on the liability of working with a psycho like Zero Dark Tony, who went so out of control, he couldn't keep himself from harassing a child, not only on the internet, but in real life, day after day after day after day for months on end. Yeah, that's actually exactly who Scientology works with. Okay. So do I think Scientology wanted Tony to harass Solomon? No, I don't. I think that's just like Scientology didn't want that PI to go and rape that woman and record it. So it's just, there's only a certain quality of person that will do business with Scientology. Okay. So I think Tony harassing Solomon and like, even after they got the restraining order against Tony, all Tony had to do was stop. All he had to do was stop. He couldn't even stop. Like the counts he's facing that are leading to his arrest are the things he has done since the restraining order. Okay. So if Zero Dark Tony's actually working for Scientology, I'm sure they're sitting over there going like, oh, geez, there goes another one. It's getting harder to find these low-life scumbags to take our dirty money and harass all these people who are making our lives difficult. All right. Call in the next one. We need a replacement for this scumbag. So anyway, Tony, all these charges that you're facing here for cruelty to a child, harassing a child, stalking a child, not the best paperwork that you want to go into jail for, broski. Hope you have a good stay. Hope nobody can bail you out. Because there's one thing we all know. Tony D'Amato does not have two nickels to rub together. He ain't bailing himself out. Okay. And Dana's not going to come to your rescue this time, not after you screwed her after the $10,000 last time. Now, you might go, well, Aaron, if Tony doesn't have any freaking money, doesn't that mean Scientology? He's probably not working for Scientology. Who knows? The guy could just be a total degenerate, blows his money in the ways total degenerates blow their money. Maybe it's one of the reasons he would have been so desperate as to accept any money from Scientology in the first place. And I guess, look, everything I'm saying, there's always a chance that he's not really working for Scientology. He just really is a crazy loser douchebag that actually honestly just gets off on harassing people who are trying to expose Scientology. So that's always a possibility as well, Tony. There's always a possibility that you actually don't even have the excuse that you're working for Scientology. You really are just that much of a piece of shit. Hey, whichever explanation it is, it's all the same to me, buddy. Hope you have a great time in jail. All right, let's see. We got a bunch of starred comments here. Let's see what we got going on. I am Rob. Don't drop the soap, Tony. That's what they say. Do not drop the soap. Emphasis on zero. Brooke Elliott, this is great news. Sarah Bauman, holy cow. Ren listens well. Christmas came early. Sarah Bauman, I'm surprised William Good hasn't jumped into the chat. Well, he may not even know that I'm live, but he is the one that texted me the info, so don't be surprised if he pops up. Marissa Martin, he's clearly a child predator who plays video games with children all day. I ain't say that says, oh my God, I love that name. People's lives are being ruined by Scientology and our tax dollars basically support it. There are bigger things we care about than who someone doesn't like. Indeed. And look, there are channels out there that have tried to tried to have that be the basis of their channel, is just hating on people who are working to expose Scientology, and those channels are failures. I mean, you can always find an audience for anything, no matter how disgusting it is. You can find a tiny little sliver of audience. But yeah, it's just not successful. It's not the key to success in this space. Duchess Diana, zero. Who is a zero? Oh, who's a zero? Wishes he was Howard Stern. Yeah, he definitely has the shock jock thing going that he's trying to go for. Mary James, I guess each charge was for each live stream he did about Solomon. No. He did many more live streams than are accounted for here in this list of charges. Duchess Diana says, he was so disgusting. I don't know how anyone in their right mind could stomach him. Yeah. But it's funny you mentioned the Howard Stern, because the truth is Howard Stern stuff was pretty darn disgusting in the early days, but it was such a shock that anybody would say these things on the radio that people tuned in. I mean, in the right space, it is a formula for success. In the former Scientology space or the former cult space, it's just not. Eric Levitt, I was harassed and bullied by Tony back in June. And last week on his Rumble Live, he showed one of my old YouTube live streams from 2018. I have high functioning autism and I hate bullies. Wow, I'm sorry that happened to you, Eric. And yeah, I know Tony is over on Rumble because I think I don't know why he's on Rumble. I mean, I think he's demonetized on YouTube, but you don't make any money on Rumble either. So I don't really know what the point is. Hey, Solomon, good to see you, man. Hey, that's Solomon, the one that we're talking about. Brooke Elliott, well done, Solomon. You did great work representing yourself. Did you represent yourself, Solomon? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Beagle Mom, I saw William live earlier. I'm glad the warrants got issued. You have a ton of support and prayers, Solomon, indeed. Dave Owens, maybe he can hide with Shelly Miscavige. Puppet, Tony also talks crap about Scientology. He just hates everyone and everything. The Grinch. That's very generous and charitable. I'm hard-pressed to think of very many times I've heard him focus on talking about Scientology at all. And to be honest, I don't know how you could hate Scientology and also hate literally everyone who's working to help spread the good word about how Scientology is, in fact, a multi-billion-dollar international family-destroying human trafficking cult. Just those two things just don't seem to go together, in my opinion. Kylie says there's no way he's not being paid by Scientology. Nobody would do this for free. It's just not logical. He's done way too much to have been doing it all for free. I agree with you, Kylie. Naomi Hales, if Scientology is paying him, they better pay him more or he's going to start singing as soon as the cuffs clink. Yeah. You know, it's funny. Even if Scientology isn't paying him, he could totally create this complete fictional story arc where he now turns Scientology whistleblower and pretends that he was being paid the entire time. And then maybe Scientology would have to sue him for defamation. Oh my God. I would tune in for that show. Kylie says Scientology literally needs the craziest people who have nothing else in their lives because those are the only people who do their dirty work for a check. I mean, the truth is there are some people willing to do that work for free. Those people are like Stephanie Hutchison and Pete Jensen and Jamie Thomas and Maria Martins. They're willing to do it for free. But yeah, I guess the question is Tony D'Amato also willing to do it for free? Naomi Hales, Solomon is an SPTV rock star now, even more than before. C.O. Bill, good to see you. I guess ups and downs in life course didn't help. Maybe he will attest to the state of past life ass clown. Thank you, C.O. Bill. Duchess Diana, do you think Scientology would bail him out if he was working for them? I'm of two minds on this. Well, I feel like I could make an argument either way. God. I want to say that if he was really working for them, they would want to bail him out because they wouldn't want him. They would want him not to have reasons to sing and, you know, turn against them. I mean, that's my gut answer. Let's see if he gets bailed out, guys. Let's see what his bail gets set at, and let's see how he gets bailed out. Adam Carmona. He thought this would propel him into the shock jock stratosphere. The problem is it's not 1997. Yeah, exactly. Kate Murphy with Broken Wings. All good. He's off the streets. Proper matter. Those are serious counts. The sheer number and against a minor that has a restraining order against him. Yeah, it's serious. And, you know, when William says this is facing potential 20 years, I believe him. You know, I don't know all the different minimum, you know, the minimum sentencing guidelines and all that stuff. And I don't know if this is one of those things where, you know, they just take a whole bunch of stuff and they throw it to the wall because all they want him to do is plead down to one thing so that they don't have to go to trial. I don't know, but it sounds serious to me. Kylie says, imagine him going into prison and having to say to the other inmates, yeah, I harassed ex-Scientologists on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. And a child. I harassed a child on YouTube who was protesting Scientology. Yeah. Joe Nova, congratulations, Solomon. Vanessa Davis, could he be on disability or have money from a settlement? You can't assume he's broke. Vanessa, that's a really good point. There's always a chance that he could be on disability. The problem is we already have had a little bit of a glimpse into his financial problems. And that's when he was hooking up with Dana Duda and spent like a month crowdfunding the $350 plane ticket for her to come and visit him. Dana lives in the Tampa area. Tony lives in the LA area. And then while Dana was there, he managed to convince her to give him or loan him $10,000, which he then stiffed her on. And I don't know, but look, maybe someone just loves scamming people and he's got a big frickin', you know, sitting on a pile of gold locked up, you know, in the safe under the mattress or safety deposit boxes all around the country. You never know. I'm just saying it sure seems like he's broke is all I'm saying. We in LA, tears of joy with this news. Good to see you in LA. Tallulah Delula, love the name. Congratulations, Solomon. Fat Cat's Heaven. Would you be surprised if Kendrick Moxon represented him? Oh my God. That would be my dream come true. Please, Kendrick Moxon, show up to court. Represent Zero Dark Tony. What a gift that would be. Kendrick Moxon, for anyone who doesn't know, famous Scientologist attorney who has been involved in all of the litigation, restraining orders, etc., against Scientology protesters. So we'll see. I ain't say that, says Scientology wastes so much money on stuff that doesn't work, and bailing out Zero Guts Phony could be another example of that. SJ, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets additional charges from other people once he's in jail. I ain't say that. To be a shock jock, you need wit. Anyone can, you need wit. Anyone can cuss. Tony had no talent. Yes, indeed. I have said, and you know, I'll stand by it because, you know, I think for what he tries to do, I'm not going to lie, I think he's good at it. The problem is you could not pick a more unpopular activity than to focus on hurting anyone and everyone on YouTube dedicated to exposing Scientology. You couldn't pick a less popular thing to try to build a channel on. So I guess I'm like, I thought he was, you know, I thought he had some wit. I thought he thinks on his feet. He's amazing at the insults. Absolutely amazing with the insults. But, you know, other people can disagree. Ann M, we need you to go outside his jail and yell, "We outside." Oh, yes. That actually might be worth a trip to LA. If he's actually not bailed out and he's just sitting there. We're on like Tony watch outside the jail. Edward, are his and Michelle Fiore's arrests the beginning of a trend of Scientologist arrests? I must be out of the loop on Michelle Fiore. Wasn't she that politician in Utah or something? Oh, that's right. She got arrested for like campaign finance stuff, right? Yeah. Now Tony and Michelle Fiore are totally, and Michelle Fiore is a Scientologist. Different peas. Different peas, same pod. Different peas, different pods. I don't know. Jeff, WW4BSA. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Hope he makes a lot of friends in lockup. Duchess Diana, if he was on disability, that is still being broke. I don't know anyone with disability that makes more than $950 a month. Yeah. Rue, wonder if it could be more than only one child. Possible. We just know about Solomon for sure. Because honestly, the stuff he does on his channel all day long, every day. And there's no other underage individuals in the community, to be honest. So for now, it's just Solomon. Lisa Kelson, his numbers are so low. Why do they value him at all? I totally think that Scientology is behind him. It is so hard to make sense of. I feel like Scientology has to be part of the craziness. The answer to your question is that they don't care if Tony's message reaches the world. They care if his message reaches the people in our community. They're trying to tear people in the community down. They're trying to turn people against each other. They're trying to make the space so muddy and disgusting that people don't want to be a part of it. They want to make people think twice before joining the community. And that's all. They don't care that he has horrible numbers. Now, in preparation for this video, I pulled up his Social Blade statistics. And even today, a year after I did my last video, he's getting less than 50,000 views per month. That means he is making less than $300 per month from YouTube. And that's if his channel is fully monetized, which I don't believe that it is. I believe most of his videos are demonetized. In other words, you can send Tony a super chat, but I don't think YouTube puts ads on his videos. So he's not even making $300 a month, and he lives in Hollywood. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I lost my space. Okay. Peaceful drama. Oh, yay, thank God. Tony has harassed me too. Tim Greenglass, he seems the type to do a slip and fall type cash scams. Yes, he absolutely seems like that type. Baby girl 5478. Does anyone know why he only has the arrest warrant and isn't caught yet? What am I missing? Thanks. I asked Will that question, and he spoke to the detective, and he's like, no, we haven't. We have the warrant. We just haven't gone to execute the warrant yet and arrest him. But he's like, but we know where he lives. We're gonna go get him. Don't worry. I mean, the LAPD's got bigger fish to fry. But a little guppy like Tony gets scooped up eventually. CO Bilf, the only excuse for being broke is being in jail. An entertainer can't make bail if he's broke as hell. Oh, from Philosopher, 50 cents. Peaceful drama. Tony posted a photo of my mother's house online. Yeah, he's gross. Adam Carmona, Tony's downfall unites all of the factions. Yeah. Liz Bearfield. Hey, from Murray Bridge, late, but good to catch alive. Welcome, Liz. Thank you for joining. Glad you're able to make it. Mary James, he went so far off the rails going after a minor like he did. Yeah. Marilyn Honig, good to see you, Marilyn. Tony had no filter, no compassion, and no boundaries. I'm no psychologist, but I'm sure Dr. Grande would have a lot to say. Oh, that'd be amazing if Dr. Grande would do a video on Zero Dark Tony. I lost my spot. Hold on. And once he is arrested, anyone harassed should contact the judge. Good idea. Joe Leva, this is excellent news. Excellent. John M. No, my bro is on disability. Wait, no, my bro is on disability and gets $3,000 a month. God damn. $3,000 a month for disability? I think I'm about to have a slip and fall. Ah! Don, I assume that by your bro, you're not referring to Tony, but you're just referring to your brother, who is an unnamed individual. That's a hell of a lot of month to get for disability. That's crazy. A388, Tony is trying to play the I'm nuts due to my traumatic brain injury card on his channel. So when he gets to trial, whoever defends him can say, look at his bizarre online behavior. Ah, yes, traumatic brain injury, the go-to explanation for all crazy behavior. Well, if you know you've got a traumatic brain injury and you've been blaming that on your behavior this entire time, the judge is probably going to say, then why did you keep doing live streams? Like, you at least have it within your power to delete your channel. Like, you might not be able to control what you think and what you feel, but you can control what you do. And it's premeditated to sit down in front of your whole setup and hit go live. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to fly with the judge. Carol Bernhardt, he's as successful as he was in Hollywood. Ah, there you go. Marilyn, demonized and demonetized. Duchess Diana, that's why I thought Zero was working for Scientology, because he was so focused mainly on shitting on Scientology protesters versus anything personally beneficial. Indeed. And M, mom said only those who have money in the bank can afford to act crazy. Carpe Imodium, Aaron, I think it's a potentially missed opportunity to expose the cult. I think this is a potentially missed opportunity to expose the cult by Solomon and others offering him a pass if he gives full receipts to show that Scientology was bankrolling him. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. It's not up to Solomon and the others to give him a pass. It's in the hands of the prosecutors at this point. I get your point. I absolutely get your point. And at this point, it would sort of be up to Tony to offer up the receipts as maybe part of a plea deal. But it's sort of out of Solomon's hands. Once it's in the hands of the prosecutors and the district attorney and the police, it is somewhat out of the hands of the actual victim to a certain extent. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Fat Cat 7, he has talked about a family vineyard property in Italy. I could see him skipping the country. Well, maybe he'll take another, month to raise it took him over like a month to raise the $350 needed to fly Dana from Tampa to LA. So if he wants to go to Italy on a short notice, guys, I don't know what are last minute flights from LAX or Burbank to Italy running right now. A few grand, maybe. Probably take him a year to fundraise that, unless he can find some, poor woman to scam out of a few thousand more dollars. Fat Cat 7, he's talked about, Seth, same comment, my fault. Dave Wheelhauer, disability depends on how many years you've worked. Okay, all right. Degraded daughter, Christmas came early with this gift that'll keep on giving. Justice is beautiful to watch unfold. Good to see you, Alicia. Proper matter, because the warrant is from the city attorney. I think this is the answer to the question why he's not arrested yet. Because the warrant is from the city attorney, not from the LAPD. It was just issued a few days ago. Tony just found out about it today. Sucks for him. These guys always drop cases, but didn't drop this. Cha-ching. CO Bilf, TBI does not make him incompetent to stand trial or legally insane. Not even close. Okay, good. Jim Kohler, you think he might get on a plane and leave the country with the help of the church? You could have made the same argument for Danny Masterson. Do you know what I mean? Like, in retrospect, don't you wish that, doesn't the church wish that it was like, hey, Danny, you got any film opportunities overseas? Like Georgia, the Ukraine, Russia, maybe go south to Brazil. Got any modeling opportunities? Need take you out of the country for a while? Who knows? I have so many jokes I want to make right now that I can't. I'd get canceled. G-Buddy never in. G-Buddy never in. So awesome. Time for him to go. CO Bill, we could never trust his receipts. That's true. If we want to expose them paying trolls, we could just pay some less hated crazy Scientology agent a few $100s. Yeah, I mean, Tony strikes me as the guy who would literally manufacture evidence. But even if he did try to go that route of like pretend Scientology's been paying him the whole time, even though they haven't, I gotta tell you, that would be a great troll. I mean, it would just be amazing. I mean, we can never believe a word that this guy says, no matter what. And depending, honestly, even if he started providing receipts, can you really trust the receipts? I mean, can you really? You can manufacture anything these days, but who knows? Proper matter, and he's the son of a psychologist. Is he really? Is his father or his mother really a psychologist? Wow. Miss Periwinkle, they got a cell waiting for Lil David too. Yep. All right, last one. Good Juju travels. Scientology won't stand behind him. Look at the Joey incident and court case. Brilliant. Thank you for reminding me about the Joey case. Yeah. Scientology bankrolled that whole thing. But again, yes, very good point. Very good point. All right, guys. That's all we got on this. Christmas came early. Maybe there's a God after all. All right, guys. Thank you. Sorry, I did not mean for that to be offensive to any believers out there. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.